Viewers' discretion is advised. The content you are about to see and hear may contain disturbing or offensive material such as graphic violence, strong language, or mature themes, and viewers should, if they want to watch based on this warning, related to persons living or dead, is completely confidential. This is the work of fiction. Viewers' discretion is advised. Hi guys, welcome back. Welcome back. It's me, Silentpinkgamer, and we're back here with another episode of a silent cast. I know it's been almost 2 weeks. Girl's been tired, girl's been working, and I wanted to get out Schoolboy first. But I have to ask you guys, like, really ask you guys, have you ever seen or watched The Outsider? So let's get into it. And of course, guys, like this video, please share it, and let's just go ahead and jump into it. Alrighty, so I'm super excited about this. So just giving you guys another head warning, just alert that this video is going to be discussing dark topics, mature themes, and things that most people don't like to talk about, the dark and the unknown. So of course, guys, if this is not the video for you, I really do suggest that you click off. But before you leave, of course, guys, like the video. But regardless of that, let's get into The Outsider. So, The Outsider is an HBO series that only has one season right now. And believe it or not, I recently just discovered this. Me, my booze, my friends, we are actually kind of just chilling, wanted to do like a movie little date night thing, and tell me why I've seen it. Now, don't get me wrong, I've seen it multiple times going past HBO, watching through, trying to find series. Like, don't get me wrong, the imagery is amazing and it interests me, but not enough to click on it until I wanted to look up something different, something unique, and bam, here comes The Outsider, right? So, let me give you a little background on The Outsider, okay? So, The Outsider is based on a Stephen King's novel. Actually, it's the same as the name, believe it or not. The novel was actually called The Outsider. And we all know who Stephen King is. He's a well known artist, writer. He's an actually amazing storyteller. He gave us things like The Langoliers, Rose Red, It, the classic It. So we should all know his name by now. And I actually love the fact that they're starting to take his stories and make them into series, make them into movies. And believe it or not, guys, The Monkey, it should be coming out, if not out already. Obviously, I haven't did an update on it, so I'm not for sure exactly where it is. But there's a trailer out, and I actually talked about that in one of my last podcast videos. So go check out that video, guys. But yes, The Monkey is once again another Stephen King's novel turned into a movie. So Stephen King he's on the go. I don't know if they contact him or I don't know if they contact him or he contact them. But regardless of the situation is, I'm so excited to get more of Stephen King and see it in theaters and movies and series. I'm super excited. And enough ranting about that. I can go on and talk about Stephen King. He's just absolutely one of my favorite artists, writers. He's quite amazing. So, regardless of that, Outsider, it follows a simple, straightforward case. They find, unfortunately, a young boy turned inside out in the forest. Um, they literally, there's prints everywhere. They find the van. Of course, I'm gonna give y'all guys a spoiler alert. I keep forgetting to do that in the beginning, but a huge spoiler alert for anyone who don't want me to spoil too much. I'm gonna do my best not to, because I want you guys to sit there and watch it and enjoy it and see and tell me in the comments if you've seen it or haven't seen it. You know what I mean? I want to know your opinions of it, but I'm gonna do my best not to spoil too much. So yes, I'm trying to conserve my excitedness because when I say I'm excited about this, I haven't been excited for a series since Game of Thrones and House of Dragons. So this series it got me all excited. So I'm trying to conserve it because I can talk for hours, as you could tell, about something that I really, really, really enjoy. So yes, side notes, but yes. So spoiler alert. So for as far as you know, the case is going well. They got the prints, they got DNA, they got everything they need to lead to the guy who done this to this poor child, right? So initially, what starts not making sense is the guy that did it is a well-known baseball coach. He works with children, so a lot of people in the small town knows him. So everyone's kind of like, "Wait, what?" His wife is definitely ecstatic because she's like, "Hey, wait, not my husband." And I know we've all heard cases and stories where the 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 I know there's certain words you can't say online, so I'm trying my best to pick the right ones. The the guilty, I'm saying like that. The guilty shows like he's an outstanding citizen, and then you find out that he really did some messed up stuff. So it's not strange that it's happened like that. So I'm just like, okay, cool. You know, he's living a double life, right? That's the whole thing. He's living a double life. But what would y'all think if what his wife said he was in another 90, 80,000 miles away from home in a different place for a conference. So how could he commit anything this heinous if he's miles and miles and miles and miles away, right at the same time at the same place of this taking place, right? So you would think, oh, maybe there's a twin, right? Maybe there's a twin, maybe there's a, you know, I thought it was a twin. Let's be real. I really thought it was a twin of sorts. Um, but no, it's like as far as a case, everything leads to this guy. So he is the guilty, right? Maybe he could have, you know, did this first and jumped off there. You know, it's so many things, and that's what makes this series so interesting. But not just that, it starts talking into the supernatural. And if you guys know about Stephen King is a big guy, a big artist, writer that talks about the supernatural. We all should be aware of that, right? That he's very big on scary things, the unknown, the unbothered, the things that go bump in the night. Like he's very big on telling stories about that. So yes, this is one of those cases that I love what he did. And of course there's some wonderful actors. We know one of the big ones, yeah, la, 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 la. Cynthia, our wicked star that plays Alphaba. She plays Holly Gibney in here, and she's one of the PAs or undercover investigators that's going trying to help initially the guy that unfortunately got blamed for this heinous crime, knowing that he did not do it. And like I said, I'm doing my best not to spoil everything, but yes, that part was a big thing. So initially, there's like a secret team with this local cops, local friends, people who know him, couple lawyers of Terry's, the guy that lost his life, be and blamed for this heinous crime, trying to initially discover what's going on, what happened, because it doesn't make sense that he's in two places at one time, and the fact that his DNA showed up on everything, but he wasn't there that committed, and that's what makes it so amazing. So what they play on and what they talk about is actually body snatchers, shapeshifters, um, skinwalkers, you know. And the reason why that topic is very big because initially it's initially talking about the boogeyman, and of course, in one thing I love the fact in episode 4 they talked about in each culture, everyone has their own form of boogeyman, right? They have, of course, El Cuco. They have Baba Yaga, and so on and so forth. And I was going over with my husband, and I was like, "What was your culture, or or what did your parents tell you?" Now, of course, my grandmother and grandfather died before I could really ask them what their boogeyman was, but I've heard about the boogeyman. They always said if you don't go to sleep, the boogeyman is gonna come get you, right? Now, initially, the series just sticks with an El Cuco because that's the best thing they can do to explain it. But initially, it all means the same thing. Initially, it means some entity or creature or demon that disguises itself as another. It disguises itself as another and takes form and literally becomes that person to snatch or eat a child. And have you noticed a lot of these entities, a lot of these beings, they always tend to go after children because they're the purest. They come into this world free of judgment, free of ailments and sicknesses and things like that, give or take, of course. And they just come in the purest form, and they always say that these entities, these demons, these creatures, they feed off them because they taste the best. And yes, I know that sounds really. I warned you guys. We're going to get into some deep and dark stuff. And talking about this is very hard. Obviously, being a mom myself, but it has to be done. It's a very good story. So I like how they call it the grief eater or the tear drinker, because initially, what's really cool that he does differently with his shapeshifter, body snatcher, a skinwalker, is the fact that not only does he infect the infected. So obviously with Terry, we don't fully know why they choose Terry, why he chose Terry, because as far as I know of, he wasn't grieving that we know of. But we've noticed in the past of his patterns of this shapeshifter that he feeds off people who some traumatic situation, something happened, right? Something bad, and maybe the grief was when he took a child's life, and his family started developing grief. He starts developing grief because he know he didn't do it, and his wife know he didn't do it, and now his their family is like in shambles. So maybe that's kind of like the parallel with that. But initially, he takes and feeds off people who have some type of form or strong grief, a murder, a death, bills, whatever the strongest grief that that person has, and it feeds off of it, and initially makes them or have them take over, or even initially um, becomes them, right? And makes their life a lot worse. But initially, they can't just jump into someone's body. Everyone tells their own story when it comes to this. But this one was so unique, is because they have to. He has to get not only their fingerprints, but their DNA. And the way he does it is he encounters them in some form or way to either get scratched or to scratch them on purpose. They need some type of way to get that DNA from that person on top of fingerprints from that person. And we know from initially from one of the gentlemen, Terry, the one who lost his life, unfortunately, he got his fingerprints from his grandfather because the body snatcher went into the retirement home and did what he did with grandfather. And don't ask me exactly how he did that. They didn't really go in detail with that. Maybe they will in the later episodes, but he definitely visit members of his family, because when they try to encounter this creature, a lot of their fingerprints were like different but the same, if that makes sense. Clearly they were all Terrys, but there were different forms of Terry. One was older, one was younger, one was, middle age, so they all have different fingerprints. And it could just be initially how they mold, because in this thing as well as he's molding, he's shedding like a snake. He needs to eat to make him young or pure or full, and initially that's why they take children too, to make them stronger, to make them pure, make them younger. Obviously I didn't fully finish the series because I wanted to jump on this and really talk about what I've encountered so far. And if you want updates, I will do an update on a part 2 of the outsider. So of course comment like that tells me that you want to more of the outsider. But regardless of that, let's get back to it. Um Yes, so initially they take their DNA, their fingerprints, become them, shifts into them, and then he goes after another child. And that's initially what's interesting, but the really, really interesting part, it doesn't just stop with them. 9 times out of 10, except for Terry's family so far, that because I'm only on episode 7 and it's only 10 episodes, so I'm almost at the end, guys. That they end up getting rid of the whole family. Some families might die in a car accident, get shot, or their health might take them. Their health might get worse. Like they take them out in different things, and there is a pattern. It's every 20 plus odd days he shifts, he changes, and that's what makes the shapeshifter so unique and so different and so interesting. Um, I can definitely say that what Stephen King did with the stories, not only the team that created the series has it's quite amazing. And I want to go in so much more details of things that I found because initially our beloved Alpaba, the lovely Cynthia, she plays Molly. Did I say that right? Holly. I don't know why I keep calling her Molly. Holly, where she's a PA, but what's so unique about her character is that she can go in a room and she can sense things. She has these unstrange, unnatural abilities to predict or even guess certain things that most people can't. Um, it's really quite interesting. And one thing I loved about the way Stephen King told his stories is the fact that he made them just real enough to where it could possibly be real, right? Like he makes them real enough to where it could possibly happen in real life. And that's what makes it scary and unique. And yes, I know there's debates about if shapeshifters are real or body snatchers are real, but I do find it very interesting because if you think about it, guys, they always say that we have a doppelganger out there. We have a twin in another place, in another state, in another time, maybe in a different century, who looks identical to us, that might have the same personality or different, might have different characteristics or the same. Like, you know what I mean? So even that in general is creepy. And I literally asked one of my guests that came in at work last night, I said, would you be curious about knowing who your doppelganger is? Like, is that something that will spike your interest? And she said, honestly, I wouldn't, but I would because I would want to know how different they are from me. Like, are they married? Do they even want to be married? Do they have kids or not? Are they financially doing better than I am? So it always piques your interest. And of course, in the comments, tell me, are you interested in, if you could meet your doppelganger? Are you interested in that? Put that in the comments, guys. But of course, guys, this was a short one. Because like I said, I don't want to get into a complete talk about this because I don't want to spoil it for you guys, especially if you haven't seen it. It's so amazing and I'm addicted to it. I want to know the fact that this thing doesn't really have fingerprints, and also I forgot to mention another thing about this shapeshifter is the fact that when he's weak, when he's um, initially in his weakest form, trying to heal initially, um, that he does almost kind of like a ghost effect. He can almost project himself in areas. That's what's so unique about it. Still can't really, and there's residue there that states that something or someone was there. It's like like a secretion or some type of energy or uh some type of residue that's left behind when his presence is there. And that's what's so interesting. So he can't completely just go in and so he's not completely not there like a ghost, but he's there, if that makes sense. So he does these ghost hallucinations. He shows up in people's dreams. He kind of almost makes you feel like in um a super um, like an advanced version of Freddy Krueger, almost, because Freddy Krueger don't take over people's bodies. So it's a really good series, guys. Check that out. And unfortunately, that's all I have for this one. I wanted to dedicate this whole episode to The Outsider because it's really that good. Um, it's been a while to find a series that is that good, that is just that interesting to keep my interest, and it definitely has. And of course, guys, check it out. And also just be aware that it's very mature. It talks about dark things, especially dark things with children. Obviously, um, little spoiler, since episode one, you don't really get a lot of children snatching because obviously I notice when it comes to movies and series, even though it might deal with children, they do their best to not constantly have children being murked left to right. Even though I feel like it would sell that this thing is that powerful, but at the same time, too, I get why they don't do it. But for the most part, as far as that in investigation, trying to figure out where it is, because there's also a guy there. I'll put his name and his actor's name on the screen. He's kind of like he doesn't believe it. He believes in hard facts and science and truth and things like that. That's what he truly does believe in. So, but the last episode I left off on, episode 7, I think he's starting to wake up a little bit. And that's all I'm going to say. But I hope you enjoyed me ranting and doing a lot of that. I hope you enjoyed it. I really do. I will not be showing the trailer because like I said, I want y'all to get the full experience on your own and come back to my channel and tell me what you guys think. I would love to hear it. But regardless, I hope you guys have the most a wonderful day ever. Don't forget, guys, I will be giving out shout outs in my gameplays for the new subscribers and the new members or members in general that leaves a comment, even if it's just a hey. But regardless of that, guys, I hope you have the most amazing day ever. Thank you so much. I hope I didn't repeat myself. I be feeling like I be repeating myself a lot, but it's early in the morning and I'm tired. But regardless of that, guys, have a great one. I will see you soon. Like. Like I said, the likes and the views definitely shows me that you want more of my content. But regardless of that, guys, I will see you soon. Bye. My colors glow.